Hi, ek is Wakil Smit. Hier is Lady June. Dis ons 'n groot wenner in ons familie. So net hierdie keer kan ons niks bekom nie. Sy gee ons 'n daaglikse brood en vuur en versorg vir ons almal en ons kinders. Dis waarom ons baie mooi kyk na haar, sodat dit so mooi kan lyk mekaar toe.
Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Cartles, hosted by Marika and I. Hey Marika, so good to see
Karen.
you.
Hi Karen, hi everyone.
And to connect with you again, as some of you know, I was on leave last week and for a much needed break, and I did absolutely nothing. I slept late, potted around, caught up on Netflix. I love my documentaries. They're my favorite to watch, and took a nap now and then because, well, I could. I also muted my phone notifications, and oh, everyone, you should try that when you're on leave. If they need to get hold of you, they will give you a call. So it was absolute bliss. But that was Lady June in the snippet that Marika just showed, and she was actually named after June Woodman, an icon in animal welfare who was a straight-talking, no-nonsense kind of person, and who also treated her staff like family. How special. Hopefully, we will be back in the office soon so we can take these wonderful videos of the carties and their horses. And then you can all still come and visit us and see what we've been up to at the clinic, and we've still been really, really busy. The next snippet will make you feel all warm and fuzzy. Oh, how lovely. Although we couldn't really hear what they were saying at the end, but how special is this video? Carties getting vaccinated using their cart horses to get to the drive-through.
If that's your transport, that's your transport.
Exactly. And even though these are not our carties, they are used purely for transport, as Marika said, like Muhammad did when he took his kids to school and his grandchildren in his wonderful cart. As you know, this month has been dedicated to our heritage at Cartles and where it all started, and how the working cart horses are a proud part of Cape Town's heritage. This coming Friday is Heritage Day, and since 1995 and the early 2000s, National Braai Day has gained a lot of momentum as we all gather around an open fire with family and friends and cook the most delicious meals. My favorite, lamb chops, braai broodjies, vegetarian meals, which is always a winner, boerewors, gourmet salads, and even homemade bread and dessert on the fire. And let us not forget, well, at least for me, a nice chilled glass of white wine or two to go with it. Marika, what are you doing this?
You make it sound divine. I will be camping, so I will be sure to have a fire.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to a street braai, which we haven't had in quite a while due to COVID, where it is always good to meet up with our neighbors that have actually that have actually become really, really good friends of mine, as I've been living in the same house for the last 21 years.
Wow.
Folks, our calendars are ready for sale for 140 Rand, which includes postage this year. So please support this annual fundraiser of ours, as we know you are going to love them as much as we have loved putting them together for you. Then please diarise again the 12th of October for our virtual AGM at 6 p.m. Do join us so you can see what we have been up to and what we've been doing and how your donations have been spent over the last year. Today, folks, we will be showing you our very special 20-year video, then and now, and also our own Heritage Day parade at the V&A waterfront.
If you've just joined, you are watching Coffee with Carthorse, and we are thrilled to have you on this glorious spring equinox. Although we work hard to bring you these shows from our living room, the aim is still to educate, entertain, and bring in much needed funding. So please like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube, and don't feel shy to hit that share button.
Some reflections on the working horse.
Suddenly, as you're stuck in traffic and the long commute home, suddenly there'll be this blast from a free and liberated past as a young boy gallops down the side of the freeway on a horse that is just as happy and liberated as he is, many times bareback, and you just get a brief inkling of an ancient relationship between humans and horses that has actually persisted. And I think on a purely, utilitarian level as well, horses have a place to play in the city. Soweto, they're hauling coal. Here they're doing scrap. Here they're providing far more than just, low commercial transport for people who actually are fairly poverty-stricken very often. They're doing far more than that. They're also providing ties to the past, ties to what families have done for generations, and actually, I think, a tie to the future, because I would be very surprised not to see horses being more important as we move to greater understandings of sustainability.
The Cart Horse Protection Association was created in 1995 with the express mission of improving the life and working conditions of the Cape Cart Horse. Why do we do what we've been doing over the last 20 years? Has it been for the communities on the Cape Flats? For the residents of the Greater Cape Town area? Or perhaps to uphold Great Cape traditions and heritage? Maybe it's been for the carties, those streetwise smoso-cum scavengers who ply our suburbs for scrap and any other opportunities that might come their way. It's been for all these things, but most of all, it's been for the horses.
But they're not the main focus why we are here. The horses are.
It all comes down to the well-being of the horse.
At the end of the day, it's about the horses.
The 90s were tough. The newly formed Cart Horse Protection Association had many mountains to climb. After the turn of the millennium, there was light at the end of the tunnel. Have we made a difference?
Many times you get asked, do you feel that Cart Horse has made a difference, or is the abuse out there really bad? And I always answer that we're 20 years old. If you look at the organisation and the horses and the people 20 years ago and you compare them to now, it's phenomenal.
Yes, we've made a difference, and that is why we motivate, because we want to continue to make difference, because you improve a horse's life.
So what's been the recipe that's led to the Cart Horse Protection Association's success over the last 20 years? One of the ingredients is know your territory.
Well, it's important to know and understand who you work with, who you deal with, the background of the person who you deal with. Once you know that, then obviously you know where they stay, you know how they stay, you know how they live, you know their horses. And based upon that, you can form a little bit of a picture of who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with and how you can educate and how you can go forward. It's easy. After a while, it's easy to relate to the area. You know how to work with the people, and you become acceptable, or they accept you within their area, much more than they would accept the police. Once you're within their circle, then you're okay. You trust and they will listen. Educate. Educate leads to improvement in the condition of the horse, and preventing the abuse, hopefully.
We are also fair and consistent at all times.
The cart horse owners also know that there's no excuse for abuse or neglect because we are here. And over the years, we've always educated and we've been very fair. Fairness generates trust, and so when we get a situation now where we confiscate, it is understood that this is what is supposed to happen, and because we are here and they have an opportunity to come to us for help if they want.
Maar jou dan moet jy my bel.
Man wil aan mekaar besel dan.
Ek kan nie sien dat jou perdie staan die hele naweek sonder kos nie.
Because we are fair, they when you do confiscate, then they know. If you say unhitch, load, they have been warned. They had all the opportunities to improve themselves, and they know that they were in the wrong, and they would tell you, sorry, I know I'm wrong. I know I was wrong.
Another important ingredient has been the caliber of our staff.
Our staff members are one of the biggest cornerstones of the success of the organisation and the work that we've done. We have a lot of staff members that have been with us for many, many years and are very dedicated and committed. I also think a lot of the staff members, cart horse isn't just a job, it's a life. And so you almost dedicate your life to your job and to the cause and to the success and to the lives of the horses.
The establishment of a recovery and rehabilitation centre out at Somerset West enhanced our service offering hugely. This facility was made possible by a generous bequest from the late B.T. van Fleet. It provides a place of safety for abused cart horses, sick and injured animals, as well as equines needing rest and a rehabilitation. It offers maternity care for foaling mares. The centre provides a platform to interface with the public at a different level, such as at this Wash a Horse Day, where people from other walks of life can learn about the association's work. The people who, 20 years ago, had a vision for the cart horse's future.
We mustn't forget the people who started the future, because I think the people who started the future has done an extremely good job. Their vision, what they saw about the horse and how they went about to create the cart horse, they need, like Carl would say, hats off for them.
The need for maintaining high standards and ongoing training is vital.
Obviously, the standard that was set by my predecessor, by Sue Much and Dr. Neuland, was very high. Now, it's up to us to continue training new staff members and to try our best to maintain the high standards. We do education, we do now new training with new equine welfare practitioners. It's currently undergoing, and it's very important to continuously train new people to do exactly what we do, what we've been doing for 20 years.
The industry will never die, but it will get smaller, because that's what has happened over the years. It's never got bigger, it has got smaller, and hopefully one day we'll have a core of owners who are really good horsemen and are here, but it's not getting bigger or growing, which is a comfort.
What Cape Town's cart horse industry has meant to the people of the Cart Horse Protection Association.
The people we work with and the abuse we see and how they try and improve themselves has changed me, has made me a better person. So it's not what we can do for them, it's I need to thank them for making me, I hope, a better person. And that is why you don't want to stop. because you feel good about what you do, you feel good about how you do it, you believe in what your organization stands for, because I believe 100% what CARTO stands for. And that is why we just hang around, stay around.
Cart horses have a way of finding places in the bottom of people's hearts.
When I started, all these horses coming to the clinic, and all these new horses, new faces. Once you start to meet them, once you start to meet the horses, you realize how a special breed of horse the working cart horse is. It's not your normal horse. Your working cart horse is really not a normal horse. They're bomb-proof. Bullets can fly all over and they will munch away. And they found their own way to creep right into the bottom of your heart. And there where they are, there they stay till the day I'll die.
Wow, how far we have come, and I feel so blessed to be working for such a top-notch organization. And we have clearly made and are still making a huge, huge difference in the working lives of these cart horses.
Yeah, I in fact just drove past a scene where I saw a cart horse unhitched, and there were about 5 District Watch cars around it. And I sent Diana a message and I asked what's going on, and she knew. She said, "Oh, the horse is fine. The vet's on the way. The inspectors are on the way. They're going to truck the horse to the vet." So we're on the ball.
We're on the ball.
Yeah. This next story is rather a long one, but bear with me as it's worthwhile and has such a happy ending. Last year in June, Inspector Diana Tritter received a call from a law enforcement officer who'd stopped one of the working horses on the road. From what he was telling her, she knew that the horse that he was describing was not the horse whose ID board was at the back of the cart. She also knew that the horse that he described was a horse that she had been waiting for years, biding her time to confiscate him, and he is called Perfect Timing. The sad tale of Perfect Timing sums up many of the hurdles cart horse protection has to overcome in order to remove a horse from unfavorable circumstances. It is almost never as simple as seeing a horse in trouble and removing it from its owner. The process is long, arduous, and often frustrating. In September 2011, a little foal was born in Valhalla Park to a registered working mare. And as a side note, this alone is what enabled his owners to register him as a working horse. Horses cannot be randomly bought and brought in from anywhere else to be registered as a working cart horse. We would like to really reiterate this fact because there's often the misconception among the general public that ex-race horses are used in the karting industry. And this is not the case. At least here in Cape Town, we don't have any race horses working in the karting industry. They have to be born to a registered mare to be able to register as a working cart horse. And even then, they can only start working at 3 years old. So in earlier years, back to Perfect Timing now. In earlier years, his owner had been a very good owner, and he took care of his horses and cartors who rarely had any problems with their condition. Later, however, as we see happen a lot, the family fell on hard times, and they were often the recipients of feed help from cartors. When the old man passed away, the horses were sold, and Perfect Timing ended up with another family with whom cartors had had a history. Unfortunately, this wasn't a good history. We'd prosecuted the father of this family for neglect. He'd been found guilty, but he died before the sentence could be handed down. We therefore had no legal recourse and couldn't prevent the horse from going to this family. We hoped, because the new head of the family was fairly educated, that although he had no equine knowledge, he would be easy to instruct with regards to keeping a horse. We gelded the pony for free to help them out and waited to see what would happen. Soon, however, we were receiving complaints from members of the karting community itself that the little pony was being abused. Somehow, they managed to evade cartos inspectors for 2 full years. Whenever we were patrolling, they were not out working with the horse. Or if a complaint did come through, they managed to slip away, as they often do. The problem with animal cruelty cases is that you need to catch the culprit red-handed for a successful prosecution, and somehow they always manage to slip away. So when this call came in, Inspector Diana knew there was no way she was letting this little boy go back. We had no space at the Recovery and Rehabilitation Centre in Gordons Bay, but thanks to our close working relationship with the Cape of Good Hope SPCA, we were able to stable him there for 2 nights until we could clear some space at the R&R. Perfect timing, settle in nicely. He found his voice and he realized that he could just be a horse. He is allowed to express himself. In one of our previous episodes, you can see him cavorting around the field with his new best friend, Applejack. So at last, he's able to be just a horse. So now he's standing at the R&R, he's fat and happy, and he plays around the field with a little Applejack. And as you know, this is why we're here. We are trying to raise funds. So if you feel that we're making a difference, please use your SnapScan app and donate to our cause. And next up is this week's Office Cat insert.
All 3 cats currently residing here simply arrived in our garden. Whether they were mistakenly dumped here instead of next door at the Animal Anti-Cruelty League, or somehow made their way here by themselves, we will never know. But they came and they stayed. Batman was the first of the current cats to arrive, around 2015. When he first arrived, Batman had to be content with being the feed room cat. He worked his way up to being a field office cat. But he grew tired of people going out into the field and leaving him behind. He felt cheated that whenever he tried to stow away in Inspector Diana's bucky, she would merely drive him around the garden before throwing him out again. In November 2018, a second black and white cat appeared in our garden. He was rather elusive at first, and for about a month he would talk to us from the bushes, but wouldn't come out. We fed him out in the garden and made sure he had some shelter. After a long time of trying to coax him out, he eventually trusted us enough to touch him.
It is 10 to 6. I'm on my way in. Let's see who of our 3 loved ones is going to be the first to greet this morning. Good morning, Batman. Nice to see you. There we go, Mr. Kavesti Pesti. Morning, Sylvester. And still no Slinky Malinky.
Slinky is a tiny black cat who showed up in our garden so thin and hungry that despite her aversion to people, we easily lured her out with a bowl of food. For a while, she was happy to put up with people and even gave fundraising a try for a bit. Slinky decided that office duties were far too tedious for her, and she moved up to the mezzanine where no one could bother her. She has become a bit of an enigma, and if someone does happen to spot her during the day, it causes great excitement.
So now you've met our 3 rescue office cats. Since we cannot be in the office right now to record and share their shenanigans, we invite you to share your stories of rescued animals. Please send us stories with photos and videos to mareke@carthorse.org.za. We look forward to sharing them.
Oh, what a lovely video again, Marika. Sure, missed it, guys.
Yeah, as you can see, we're running out of footage. So I need to get some videos. Do you remember the day I went out to buy a packet of chips and came back with a kitten?
Yes. Oh my goodness, I do.
Or the day you stopped in the middle of the road on the way to work to pick up a dog and it never left.
That's true. That's true. Lucy Lou and Love It to Bits. And I'm sure everybody has one of those stories, and most of them being foster fails like Marika and I. But maybe we need to, adopt more animals or go and find more animals to do. I think our respective others would basically, what's the word? Say, no, not happening.
No, I look forward to sharing other people's stories, and I hope we get a few.
I hope so too. Folks, up next, join us down memory lane, Heritage Day Parade at the V&A Waterfront. Back in the day, when it was not so difficult to organize an event in and around the city, we hosted a Heritage Day Parade at the V&A Waterfront. Would love to do this one again sometime. But oh, what a show it was. And the owners with their cart horses did not disappoint. With immaculate carts and proud horses pulling them with ease, it was a real sight to see. If you look back at the history of the V&A Waterfront, the pictures will show you that the horses were used to offload and distribute the cargo from the ships. So once again, an age-old tradition. Lovely. Beautiful. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. If
Folks,
you've missed any of our previous episodes, please go to our website and click on the Coffee with Cart Horse tab, and you can see all the previous episodes there. Or you can go to our Facebook page and look in the videos; they're all there. Or you can go to our YouTube channel; all the previous episodes are there as well.
And on that note, folks, actually, I just need to mention something. While we were watching the video, our 20-year video, Odie was next to me snoring. So if you did hear something in the background, that was Odie. At least he wasn't barking. So you got the memo today. But we really need all your support. And please like and share our page, as Marika always says. And as I say, there is no donation ever too small or too big. And thank you for tuning in. And until next Wednesday, please keep safe and take care. Bye, Marika. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Karen.